Ladies, let me ask you something a little awkward, but necessary. Have you ever caught a whiff of something unpleasant and thought, is that me? Well, as a doctor who's worked with thousands of women over 60, I'm here to tell you, it might be. And it's not your fault. It's because most older women aren't told this. There are 6 specific spots you're probably missing in the shower. And if you're not cleaning these regularly, they could be the reason you're smelling, well, a little more grandma than graceful. So stick with me to the end, because number 5 shocks even nurses. And number 6, almost nobody does it right. Backhand index pointing right. And before we dive in, give this video a like, hit subscribe, and comment below, clean and proud, if you want to feel fresh and fabulous at any age. Part 1. Behind the ears. Let's start with one of the most overlooked spots on the entire body, yet one of the biggest culprits when it comes to body odor, especially for older women. Behind the ears. Now, I know what you're thinking. I wash my hair, I rinse everything. I'm sure the water runs over that area. What more do I need to do? But let me tell you something I've learned after decades of being a doctor and working closely with women over 60. Rinsing isn't the same as cleaning. And this spot right here, just behind your ears, is where odor loves to hide. The skin behind your ears is loaded with sebaceous glands. These glands produce oil called sebum. And when sebum sits on the skin for too long without being washed away, it can start to smell. And I don't mean faintly. I mean noticeably. You combine that oil with sweat, poor air circulation, a bit of dust, or hair product buildup, and suddenly you've got a sour, musty smell following you around, one you probably don't even notice anymore because you're used to it. But trust me, others notice. To make matters worse, many of us wear glasses, hearing aids, or even just long hair that traps warmth and moisture behind the ears. That space becomes the perfect environment for bacteria to thrive. And bacteria is what causes odor, not sweat itself, but the reaction of bacteria breaking down the oils and skin cells. You know, that faint cheesy or earthy smell you might notice when you rub your finger behind your ear. That's what I'm talking about. I've had women come into my clinic dressed to the nines, looking absolutely pristine, but wondering why their family says they have a grandma smell. They're mortified. And when we dig into their hygiene habits, we often find the same thing. Behind the ears was never getting a proper scrub. So here's what I tell all my patients. When you're in the shower, don't just rely on water or shampoo runoff. Actually take your fingers, or better yet, a soft washcloth, and gently wash the area behind both ears. A circular motion is best. Do it daily, just like brushing your teeth. It takes seconds, but it makes a world of difference. That tiny change alone can upgrade your hygiene from average to immaculate. And don't forget to dry behind your ears thoroughly, especially if you wear glasses or hearing aids. Leaving moisture back there only invites more bacteria. It's simple, it's quick, and it's the kind of thing people remember about you. How clean and fresh you smell when you give them a hug. Don't underestimate the power of those little spots. Part 2, under the breasts. This one is personal for me, and for nearly every older woman I know. We're talking about the skin under your breasts. It's one of those places that can feel a bit uncomfortable to talk about, but I can't tell you how many women over 60 end up in my clinic with rashes, irritation, or mystery odors they can't figure out. And it turns out it all started right under the bust. Here's the issue. That warm, tucked away skin underneath your breasts becomes a perfect little environment for sweat, heat, and bacteria. As we age, our skin becomes thinner and loses elasticity. Gravity does what gravity does, and the breast tissue sits lower, which means that the underbust area gets even less airflow and more opportunity for moisture to build up. Now, combine that with bras worn all day, perspiration, and perhaps a little deodorant or powder that wasn't fully cleaned from yesterday's routine, and you've got the ideal breeding ground for odor and even fungal infections. A lot of women think body odor just comes from underarms, But I'll tell you, more than a few of my patients were shocked when we discovered the musty, sour smell they couldn't get rid of was coming from their chest, not their pits. And this is important, especially during warmer months or if you live in a humid area. The buildup under the breasts can actually lead to intertrigo, which is an inflammation of the skin folds that can turn into a yeast infection if not addressed. Women come in with redness, itching, rawness, thinking it's an allergic reaction, when really it's just a hygiene issue that's easily fixable. So what should you be doing? First, you need to be lifting each breast and washing gently underneath with a mild, fragrance-free cleanser. Don't be rough. This isn't about scrubbing your skin raw, but it is about being thorough. Let that warm water and soap get into those creases every single day. Then rinse well. And this is just as important, dry thoroughly. Don't throw a bra on over-damp skin. Pat dry with a towel, or even use a blow dryer on a cool setting if you need to. And for women with larger busts, or those who deal with recurring irritation, I sometimes recommend a bit of antifungal powder or barrier cream, especially during hot weather or after workouts. Clean skin under your breasts doesn't just help you feel fresher. It helps you stay healthy, prevent painful rashes, and keep that self-confidence that every woman deserves at every age. Part 3. The belly button. The humble belly button. So small, so innocent looking, and yet so often completely forgotten. I'll be honest with you, this one still surprises me. When I ask my patients, when's the last time you actually cleaned inside your belly button? I either get a puzzled look or total silence. And that silence tells me everything. Here's what's happening inside your belly button. It's essentially a little pocket, a dark, moist, enclosed area with folds that trap everything. I'm talking about dead skin cells, sweat, soap scum, lotion residue, body oils, lint from clothing, and yes, bacteria. In some cases, even yeast. Studies have shown that there are dozens of bacteria species living in our navels. And when that buildup isn't regularly cleaned out, it creates a distinct and unpleasant odor, one that many women don't realize is coming from there. I've seen women who were embarrassed about a smell they just couldn't identify. They were using perfume, trying new deodorants, even changing their diets, and still something felt off. Until we looked at the belly button. And let me tell you, sometimes what comes out of there can be downright shocking. I've seen black gunk, white waxy buildup, and in extreme cases, infected cysts just from neglect. Cleaning your navel doesn't require fancy tools. You simply take a soft cotton swab or a corner of a washcloth, dampen it with warm water, add a small amount of gentle soap, and gently clean inside. Don't dig or poke too hard. Just a soft sweep is enough. Then rinse with clean water and dry it completely. Don't leave moisture in there. Just like under the breasts or behind the ears, dampness is bacteria's best friend. And please, don't rely on water just running down your body in the shower. That's not enough. The belly button needs focused attention once or twice a week, especially if you have a deeper innie. Keeping this area clean prevents odor, reduces risk of skin irritation, and keeps your hygiene routine complete. No more mystery smells. No more guessing games. Just confidence and cleanliness where it counts. Part 4, behind the knees. You might be surprised, but behind the knees is one of those areas that almost every senior woman forgets to clean properly. It's tucked away out of sight, and because we're often focused on the obvious spots, it gets completely overlooked. Why does it matter? Because the skin behind your knees forms natural folds and creases. These folds can trap sweat, dust, and bacteria throughout the day. Now, you might not sweat as much here as you do under your arms or on your back, but it's enough to create a slightly sour, stale smell if it isn't cleaned regularly. As we get older, our skin loses some elasticity, and these folds become more pronounced. That means moisture can linger longer, creating the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. For women with limited mobility or arthritis, reaching behind the knees can be tricky, so it's even more likely to be skipped. When this area isn't cleaned, you might notice that your clothes smell musty or your skin feels itchy or irritated back there. That's a sign you need to pay more attention. The good news? Cleaning behind your knees doesn't take much time. When you're in the shower, simply bend your knees slightly or sit on a shower stool and gently rub the area with warm water and a mild soap. Use your fingertips or a soft washcloth to get into those creases. Doing this every day or every other day keeps the skin fresh, reduces odor, and prevents irritation. Don't underestimate this small step. It's one of those subtle habits that keeps you smelling fresh all day and feeling confident in any outfit. Part 5. Toenail creases and between the toes. Feet are often the first thing to show signs of neglect. And for many seniors, foot hygiene isn't just about looking good. It's a critical part of overall health. The areas between your toes and underneath your toenails are a favorite hideout for bacteria and fungus. If you're not cleaning these spots thoroughly, you're giving these microbes a place to grow unchecked. And trust me, this can lead to foot odor, fungal infections like athlete's foot, and even more serious skin problems. Many women think that just washing their feet quickly in the shower is enough, but often the water and soap don't get deep enough between the toes or under the nails. Sweat, dead skin, and dirt build up there, especially if you wear closed shoes and socks most days. The secret is to be intentional and thorough. During your shower, spend a little extra time separating each toe with your fingers and gently scrubbing the spaces between. Use a soft brush or a washcloth to carefully clean around the toenail edges and the nail beds where dirt can accumulate. Be gentle to avoid damaging the skin, but firm enough to dislodge grime. After washing, it's crucial to dry your feet well, especially between the toes. Leaving moisture there invites fungal growth, which causes that unmistakable foot odor. If you're stiff or have trouble bending down, a long-handled foot brush or even soaking your feet in warm water outside the shower before drying and moisturizing can help keep this area clean and healthy. Proper foot hygiene doesn't just make your feet smell better. It also prevents infections that can become serious in older adults. Clean, fresh feet support your mobility and overall well-being, so don't neglect those tiny spaces between your toes. Part 6. Back of the neck and hairline. The final spot many senior women overlook is right at the back of the neck and along the hairline. This area is particularly important because it's where oils from your scalp meet the skin of your neck. Over time, sweat, hair products, and natural oils build up there, especially if you don't wash your hair every day or if you use leave-in conditioners and sprays. That buildup can cause a subtle but persistent odor that sticks to your clothes and pillowcases. Many women don't realize that the old person smell their family mentions or that their pillowcase smells musty comes from this very spot. Just rinsing your hair isn't enough to clean the skin at the nape of your neck. It needs a proper cleanse too. When you wash your hair, make sure to use your fingertips to gently massage the skin at the back of your neck. This encourages circulation, removes dirt and oil, and helps prevent that stubborn odor. If you have longer hair, make sure to lift it up and clean the skin underneath carefully. For those with short hair, it's easier but still important to be thorough. Some women find using a gentle body wash or cleanser on this area during their shower helps. Avoid harsh soaps, though, as the skin here is delicate and prone to dryness. Drying this area properly after your shower is equally important. Leaving it damp traps moisture and encourages bacteria growth. Pat the skin dry with a towel or use a hairdryer on a cool setting if you need to. By giving attention to the back of your neck and hairline, you prevent odors from sneaking up on you and help keep your hair and skin healthier, fresher, and more vibrant.